Hello! I just got something that I want to talk about. I just had a session where I watched a shit ton of Vsauce videos. And I watched something I think I saw a long time ago, but I came back to it just now, but because I forgot. It was How Much Does a Shadow Weigh, his video. And you should watch it. It's insane. It's really good. But point being, as I kind of figured, light makes things heavier because it's pushing on them and it's hitting it and blah blah blah. But a shadow, he doesn't exactly address this. Since a shadow makes an area, a shadow takes away, it keeps an area from getting hit by light, therefore not having it gain that weight. The idea of a shadow itself is negative weight, and therefore negative mass too. It's just an idea, it's not a physical thing, but define a physical thing. Is a shadow a physical thing? Could you switch your train of thought to take that a shadow is not a physical thing, and light and a wall is a physical thing, and swap it so that instead you're thinking light is not a physical thing, a shadow is a physical thing, the wall is also a physical thing, and flip your whole concept of mass and weight so that, so that you don't gain weight, you gain the loss of weight, and you lose weight and because of negative weight. And you, instead of putting a cup on a scale and then zeroing it and then putting something else in, you put the thing on the scale, measure that, and then put the cup in with, and then add negative mass equal to that, or something like that. Imagine if that's how we did math, by using negative mass. Using shadows, we can do things with negative mass. Can't we use the idea of negative mass as in a way to find out different cosmic problems? Maybe it's just, it's not as simple as a negative number to me right now, because a shadow is a lack of something. It's like the idea of not, the light is not there, and the only thing in the shadow is stuff that passes through your hand. But shadows, in layman's terms, it's an area that has less light because it's been blocked. But shadows still have light in it. They're not completely pitch black. In fact, you can even go into a room with a lot of lights and get both your hands out and marionette different shadows overlaying, making darker shades. You can do that. I used to do that all the time in gym class whenever we were bored and all sitting around, not actually doing gym yet. So, is there such thing as an absolute shadow without just covering the thing completely? What if you went to the Big Bang and say this was the first big, there is no light anywhere else that is going to reach you while this happens, and sorry, distracted. And you put up an impenetrable wall that nothing can pass through whatsoever, and you put a normal, plain and simple wall behind that, and you said that and the Big Bang happens, and let's say all the Big Bang is in this theory is just light. No, nothing but photons. Just photons moving in a straight line outwards in every direction possible outwards. no direction that is... It's always in a direction that will never hit another one of the things. It will never hit another photon from that source. And let's say, in order to light up every possible spot, it's a source of light. It's like a light bulb. And the first wave is every possible place on there, and then it goes out in every direction. But that doesn't hit every spot. It doesn't light up every spot. If you could put up a big sphere of this impenetrable wall around it that is a bigger diameter and encompasses the Big Bang light bulb and the smaller impenetrable wall and the normal wall, had those all inside it, and then you went to, and you had this sphere be really far out, just a gigantic thing, and every time a photon hit it, it would leave a mark, and you could walk, and you could float over to that mark and check it. Obviously, barely a fraction of the wall would be hit in that first wave of light, because there's only a certain surface area of the Big Bang light bulb to give out. But let's say it's a wave, so that it constantly gives out these pulses in enough time between them that they never hit each other. And let's say when they hit the wall, they don't reflect back. They just dissipate into the wall and leave the mark. So it's a pulse, so that eventually it will cover every square plank length on the wall, if that's possible. On the sphere, if that's possible. So, and then we test. This wall is made out of similar material that will also get marked. So, will that wall ever get marked at all? Or will it be in a perfect shadow? And let's say that the walls aren't giving off any light. It would be in a perfect shadow. So, let's say that somehow we had a situation here on Earth where we had a perfect shadow on a thing. What is perfect darkness? Would it have any effect on anything? Does it do some kind of negative radiation? Because everything on Earth is exposed to light somehow, because things give off light. Human beings give off light, not visible light, but light. So, would having an object on Earth be in complete shadow and having less ratio mass to anything else, would that do some kind of paradox? Because would that thing, like, if you took out all of the light that has ever touched Earth and took its mass right now, and taken out all light mass that's ever been added to it, it'd be kind of weird, but it would weigh a shit ton less. It would not weigh near as much as it weighs right now. One sec, I gotta pause this. Okay, is that back? Okay. So, yeah, what kind of deal would that be if you had something not have any light mass on it? A, what would that look like? Would it... You can't... It would be invisible. Because, let's say it was a thing that we had a material that was not... that had never been touched by light. And cannot be touched by light. Let's add that into this equation. It can't be touched by light. Light never touches it. You couldn't see it. You couldn't get any light to reflect off of it to hit your eyeballs. Let's say it had some kind of magnetic field, electromagnetic field that pushed away any light. And that's how it had a perfect shadow. It had some kind of force field that made it so that no light can touch it. No electromagnetic wavelengths whatsoever can touch it. But let's say You can hit it, though. What if this was a ball the size of a beach ball floating, and no light can hit it? First of all, looking at it, you'd be totally warped, and you probably see past it, because it would warp the light rays around it and then behind it, and then it would come back and warp around it behind it and hit your eye. You would look straight past it with a little bit of warping, just like certain star systems do in space. Like, I forget the name of the whole deal, but it happens. That's how they can see things behind it. Superclusters do weird things with light. One sec. Oh, sorry, shit, yeah. So, it would be completely invisible. Like, this is the only... I don't know, I haven't looked up any other conception of if someone has ever made something, some concept of something that is completely invisible, because we have, like, reflector thingies. We have things that reflect light and make it so that you don't see things and whatever, but not a concept of something that is such a shadow that not only has it never been touched by light, it can't get touched by light, and has this thing around it that just keeps it perpetually there, untouched by light. It would be completely invisible. And just imagine, it'd be like an E.T. style movie where it's like, there's an alien in my backyard, the government, blah blah blah. But imagine if you just had this invisible ball, and it acted just like any other ball. Like, it had total physics like anything else. The field didn't touch anything but light. I know that the boundary between light, between photons and the atoms in your hand, that you hit it. But let's just say that it reacts just like any other beach ball. Or bowling ball. I don't know what it's made of. It could be made of anything. It's the field that matters. Oh, there's another thing. What was I just saying? Yeah. So, you would be like telling guys, I have this invisible thing. I can't tell you, I can't explain how it's invisible, but it's invisible. And, like, you'd have to go over and, like, poke at it and shit like that, and you're like, you could. And let's say it has a bit of an aura because the magnetic field thing, let's say it's 2 inches off of the surface. So if you try to put, like, a sticky note on it, it would be invisible or whatever. Like, I know there's ways to get around this. Just put a tack or something on it that's more than 2 inches long and that sticks out, and then you can see it. Or you could put enough sheets on it so that you'd be able to see it. But the point being is that it's an invisible fucking ball. Could you do a lot of science if you had an invisible ball? Like, what could you do with it? Maybe it's not that big of a deal. It's just interesting. And also, going back to what I was saying now, remember, can certain materials of matter exist without light? Can something exist without being touched by light? Can wood stay wood without light? Or does that do something like certain things can't exist how they are without pressure? They get warped or float away or what the hell? With light, would the lack of light do something to something? What about the lack of heat? Well, that goes to absolute zero. That's another rant. See ya. This was just something I shit out of nowhere. Thank you, Vsauce. Okay, see you guys. I got 2 more rants planned to make. Yes. Hey, just wanted to get a few things out. I'm actually editing this right now. Well, editing, there's not much to edit. So I just wanted to say one last little touch-up on stuff. What was I going to... Oh, yeah. I wonder what the best general definition of a shadow is. What define a shadow and define nothing? Can a shadow exist without a medium to land on? And is a shadow the space between your hand and the wall if your hand's blocking light? Or is it the surface of the wall? If a shadow is the combination of the wall and where the hell in between, then a shadow as a concept is negative weight, negative mass. But where do you draw the line that's a shadow? Guess that's a personal definition, which might be the theme of the next rant. Unless, wait, did I already make a personal definition rant? No, I'll have to make that. Well, goodbye, everybody. Blah, 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 blah.